Good morning. Channeling my inner L King this morning. I am Scott Havens, head of global digital for Bloomberg Media. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our video efforts. The title of this presentation is When News Meets Video. It might also be titled or subtitled, How Leveraging Traditional Media Leads to New Media Success, or From Albatross to Accelerant, perhaps, if you want to be pithy. So just very quickly, most people know Bloomberg perhaps because of the mayor, and sadly not presidential nominee or hopeful. But there's also a massive media company within Bloomberg, which was started 30 years ago. And it's part of the reason we can have success in video. We've got 2,500 journalists around the world pumping out 5,000 stories a day across 170 plus bureaus in 50 countries. So the global expansion buzzword that we are able to do is a differentiator for us, and I think you'll see us leverage that more and more as we go forward. Across all of our platforms, which is print, live, digital, television, several magazines, apps, OTT, we are now reaching about 60 million global business executives every month. So this is a cheap man's VR experience into the Bloomberg terminal with all of our data. It also is a slide that makes any designer cringe because there are way too many data points on here, but I thought I'd leave it like this just to make a point. But this is really what I'm here to talk about. We have this linear television channel on cable, Bloomberg Television, with which we build our video programming around. We're very lucky, like ESPN, like CNN, we're able to leverage what they produce and then add to that with our 25, 30 video folks around the world to create a very successful video platform. One that is number one in business and finance video right now, doing about 20 million viewers a month and 160 million streams. What's interesting about this for us, and I think you all know that, we're at a video conference. This is a highly lucrative place for us to play, and as we think about what are the scalable business models for publishers, video is not the answer necessarily, but it's certainly part of the solution. We're getting 3 times the CPMs that we get in cable and in display, and believe me, because of our target audience and our effective sales force, I would say, that's a high CPM. We're not talking about $10. So we can scale the business at those CPMs. This year we'll probably go 30 to 50% in digital revenue. It's really driving a lot of our digital business right now. The halo effect is what I call it, that we get from including video, working with our partners in video, is 9 times. And that, by halo effect, I mean that's how much more money they spend across all of our other platforms, television, live, print, radio. And 76%, 3/4 of our clients, our big clients, have video as part of their campaigns. So it's very, very important for us. So what I want to do quickly today, since we only have about 15 minutes, is walk you through 3 case studies to illustrate how we're using video, what we're doing, and why we think it's working. So the first one is Bloomberg Markets. We have 5 brands, effectively, within Bloomberg. Markets, Politics, Tech, Opinion, Pursuits, our luxury brand. And with Markets, it's actually a show. It's a cross-platform brand. So we've got Joe Weisenthal, who formerly a Business Insider, a digital native doing TV, and also as sort of the editor with Tracy Alloway of our coverage cross-platform. We are able, because we have shows on TV and because we have a breaking news capability, we're able to deliver to the digital audience, OTT and on web, live streaming coverage of, say, Janet Yellen telling us she's not raising rates again. That is hard for most people to do. And we've got that capability now, especially because it's original. It also anchors a lot of the campaigns across platforms. So we are selling across TV and digital. The next case study that I want to show you, and I'll show you a little clip in a second, is Hello World. We just debuted this series. This is a little different than the Markets live stream. This is about original digital native series that we're building. And Ashley Vance, who's a terrific writer, is going around the world finding great innovations. And the great thing about this is we can find sponsors for this. This lies at the sweet spot of our editorial mission, our audience's desires, kind of content they want to see, and our advertisers' desires to be aligned with great, high-quality content. I'll show you just a quick clip here of the production quality.
Silicon Valley may be home to some of the biggest tech giants in the world, but it's being challenged like never before. Crazy tech geniuses have popped up all over the planet, making things that will blow your mind. My name is Ashley Vance. I'm an author and journalist, and I'm on a quest to find the most innovative tech creations and meet the beautiful freaks behind them. Hello, world.
What's great about this, and it just premiered very recently, what's great about this is we shot it with the digital team, but we're going to run it on television. So it conveniently ended up being around 22 minutes. For those of you in the TV business that's plenty of time to insert some commercial breaks. So this is a great example of how we're doing high quality series that can run across multiple platforms, and of course on the web. The third case study I want to tell you about is what is code. You may remember this is last year, this was before I started, I've only been there about 5 months. But Paul Ford did an article that was, 40,000 words. It ended up not being an article, but an entire issue of Business Week. And again, another example of how we're trying to think about utilizing our cross-platform reach. So this was a Business Week article. We did an amazing job of creating a feature template on the web, and we shot some video I'll show you in a second. And it was a huge success, won a bunch of awards, and really highlighted Paul Ford. And I'll show you the type of
what is code?
Interesting video that we're doing with
we should
graphics.
Answer an easier question.
And
What's a
capabilities.
computer? A computer is a clock with benefits. They all work the same, doing second grade math one step at a time. Tick, take a signal and put it in box 1. Tick, take another signal, put it in box 2. Tick, combine the signals in box 1 and maybe add them together as subtract. You, using a pen and paper, can do anything a computer could do. You just can't do those things billions of times per second. That speed makes it possible to pull multiple sleights of hand all at once. Card tricks on top of card tricks. Code is a means of harnessing the computer's power, setting up all those card tricks. It all starts with words and characters entered.
All right, we don't need to watch the whole thing because you don't need to be told how to code, but you should read it. You should check it out if you haven't. It's great. Paul's a wonderful guy. Got a new company called Postlight. So I was asked to bring 3 takeaways out of what we're doing to you guys, and which is hard because I feel like there were 4 or 5 at least. So I sort of tried to combine them. The first one that I want to make clear is we are really leveraging our traditional platforms for our video platform to grow our video. And that it really, not everybody has it. When we compete against other people, digital natives, it's a really humongous benefit to have hundreds of clips every single day. So we've got a team that is literally watching and clipping up, meta tagging, and providing those clips to our digital editorial team to run within articles, in addition to the work they do. This TV team, which is a big, large global team, provides a lot of technical expertise, quality content, a focus on quality content, execution, operations, logistics. They really are a helpful group to work with, and we collaborate very, very closely. We would not have the type of success that we've had without them. The second part is critical, though. In addition to the television team, we've built a team of social editors and video producers and product folks that understand the new platforms, that understand what's going on Facebook and Snapchat, that understand OTT. And together, that combination is incredibly important. This is the group that is helping us scale the audience across the web. The third takeaway, I think quality is a buzzword on your bingo, but is premium quality content. I have a very strong feeling about where publishers like Bloomberg or some of my predecessors like Time Inc. or The Atlantic need to go, and it's to the high end. There's plenty of content out there, and believe me, I love squirrel surfing videos. They're awesome, and they're funny. However, it's not a great business to be in. Maybe for the platforms, they can find a way to monetize it, but if you're a publisher, a creator, I think being premium, high quality within your segment is critical to scale this business, and we have that luxury given the resources that we have at Bloomberg. The other part of this is finding that sweet spot. I mentioned I mentioned Hello World. CA Technologies, who's the partner that helped make that possible, wanted to align with global innovation. And it would not have been something we probably would have funded, even with our vast resources, had they not wanted to be along for the ride. It's very expensive to shoot, a monthly series, 22 minutes in New Zealand and a next up in Sweden. So finding that sweet spot where the circles, the Venn diagram overlap between editorial mission, high quality, audience-centric, and advertiser-friendly has been part of the success and part of how we're going to scale profitably. The final slide that I want to talk to you about is where we're going, where I think, just in general, publishers need to go in video to make this thing work. The first part is data, big data. Right now, we pull a lot of data, publishers, and we don't use it very effectively. I think we're getting schooled by the tech platforms. There's no reason when I fire up Bloomberg TV that I should have to watch what they tell me to watch, what the editors have curated. That's not the appropriate way to use data. If I follow 20 or 30 stocks or companies or people, why is it that I don't have a customized experience when I go to Bloomberg TV? You will, and that's something on our roadmap, but right now you don't. And how can I connect that platform, OTT, with app and web and video, et cetera? So what we're trying to do is harness the rest of this year and into next year, harness data, first-party data, to provide a much, much better experience for users and for our advertisers. Number two, I think we've heard pretty loud and clearly that the younger generations have very little interest in pre-roll, at least 30-second or 60-second pre-roll. And it makes sense. Commercials were made for television, totally different experience than interactive TV, than web video. And we've got to get beyond this. You'll see us at NewFronts opening up some new ad capabilities, but we've got to get beyond this into a much more native and interesting and engaging advertising format. It's just not working. And the third thing is, I don't think we've spent enough time as an industry, certainly on the publisher side, perhaps because of resources, perhaps because of priorities. There's a lot to do at thinking about the product itself. I mean the OVP, the player, the landing page. How does it work in app, autoplay, all of those things, vertical video. So we're focused on testing a bunch of new things. We're focused on making sure that our platform is cutting edge. I think Reuters TV, I think CBSN are doing some interesting things. And Moritz Gimbel, who's here, who's leading our product, will be pushing that forward as we go. That's it. I wanted to leave a few minutes for questions. Hopefully, Paul can come out and do it. And it looks, are we going on Snapchat or Facebook Live?
Facebook Live.
All right, look at that.
Say hi.
Hi.
Everyone else, hello.
Thank you for having me.
There we go. Hello. All right, so we have time for a few questions with Scott. We will do this live on Facebook. We actually are live streaming the whole summit as well. And that's at Digiday events and at the Digiday Video Anywhere Summit page. But right now we're with Scott. So first question, what do we have? Right up here in the front, Peter.
Yeah, Peter Cunha, Investing Channel. You guys, you mentioned Reuters. Obviously, they're taking a little bit more of an aggressive content strategy, with their video products. Where do you see Bloomberg content? Are you guys looking to lock that down under your own environments and across the platforms that you direct and control? Or are you going to give that video content out to long tail publishers for them to monetize and increase your scale?
So long tail and platforms too? Is it?
Right. Yeah.
So there's obviously a really somewhat difficult conversation between publishers and platforms that is emerging. As much as social platforms have, and I'll get back to the long tail and Investing Channel, as much as social platforms have provided an amazing way to reach billions of people, it's also not ideal to lose control of your content, to not control the terms and conditions, maybe not the monetization terms. So that is going to play out over the next few years, and we'll see if it's good or bad. We, like everyone else, have to experiment there. So on that side, we're like the Facebook There's 1.6 billion people. We're going to be there. We're going to experiment. It's a great way to discover content. In terms of long tail, partners that we built out with the BVN last year, which was a big announcement, that model I think will continue to do. I think for me, when I looked at, then BVN is the Bloomberg Video Network. This is effectively us providing Bloomberg video content out to partners and helping to monetize it. I think that's a challenging model to scale. It's much like ad networks, and it's hard. Partners have expectations. We have expectations. It's not super automated. So we're looking at how do we work with partners in a deeper way. But certainly we're one of arguably two business channels on cable. We have content. We're clipping up hundreds of clips a day. We can certainly be a great partner to many publishers. And I think we might just change the model, but we certainly will work with people who have the need. If that answers the question.
Next question.
Hello, this way, with the
Oh,
video.
there you
There you
are.
are. Hi. Anyway, my name is John Perigine, work at the Rubicon Project. One of the things that we see, especially in the mobile space, is a lot of testing of different creative lengths, and it's going on in different markets around the world. Germany has a unique length of 22 seconds. We see a lot of 6-second ads, 7-second ads. So I was wondering if you're starting to test those different lengths to make a better user experience for the right medium.
Yeah, I think that's great. The answer is not really yet. We're still taking pretty traditional 15s, 30s in market. I think there's certainly as a case for pre-roll at a shorter length to get into the video. There's also a case for more native advertising when you're in the experience that's less interruptive, to think overlays and things like that. So I think we're going to experiment with both of those things, and perhaps there's a conjunction of those two, something up front and something within the experience that is a better, more engaging advertising experience than throwing up a 30-second pre-roll that people are perhaps avoiding.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Scott. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Anytime.
Thank you for being on our first Facebook Live at a summit. Thank you, everyone. We are now going to take a coffee break. So please go get your coffees and come on back in. We'll see you in a few.